Ong-Bak, the Thai warrior, is directed by this name that I'm already going to butcher. Ong-Bak is about a young martial artist named Ting, played by Tony Jaa, that resides in his native land of Thailand. When a group of mercenaries come and steal their precious stone head from their religious idols named Ong-Bak, Ting has to venture off to the city of Bangkok to kick some Bangkok ass to retrieve it. Now, this film was released in 2003, but I actually didn't see this until around 2010. I actually found Ong-Bak 2 playing on mute in some kind of mall that I was in long time ago. And that was my first intro to Tony Jaa and, his choreography, if you will. Later on, I had saw Ong-Bak 1 on a bootleg. It was at a friend's house, and you had it like on a blank CD. And I remember watching it, and it was a terrible quality, but it was obviously there for the fights. I remember me enjoying this so much that I kind of went down this whole rabbit hole of just going through the whole franchise in itself. And I don't think Ong-Bak 3 came out yet. At least I don't think. I think I have a few more months left before I actually saw everything. A lot of people, praise this as like the best one of the whole trilogy. And after watching it, I can see why people think that is. But first off, let me just say Tony Jaa is freaking awesome. He's a terrific athlete, an amazing fighter. His acting, the movie is mostly in subtitles. So while there is a dubbed version of the film, I decided to watch it in the way it's originally intended. So let's just get the elephant out the room. Okay, the acting sucks. Honestly, it just sucks. They do try, but it just doesn't work. And when you watch the English dub, the English is just going to disappoint you even more. But one simply just doesn't watch Ong-Bak because of these performances. Duh. The soundtrack is a little dated as well. It pulls from their early 2000s vibe. But watching it again after all these years, it sounded too much like 90s music. I had to remind myself that this movie came out in 2003. But still, it was just taking me back, like the vibe of the music. It just kept on taking me back to the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers times, with the synthesized loops and the extremely long takes in slow motion and stuff. I don't know if you guys remember that. It just, even though it's supposed to be early 2000s, you can still hear some of those inspirations from the 90s, or like maybe the late 90s. But even still, it just sounds too old. Like the soundtrack it felt cheesy at times. There's also some over the top moments as well. Like a guy pumping himself full of steroids that gives him super strength. And then Ting's eyes kind of glowing with this fiery yellow color to kind of do his finisher move, like he turns like his inner Super Saiyan or something. And it's just like, okay, that's cool. Just some corny cool stuff there. But it's like I said, we watch these movies knowing what they are. We're not looking to have some kind of art house phenomenal film here. Now, the story, admittedly, is also not the best either. It's not entirely anything I really cared about, and honestly, it seemed a bit too farcical, story-wise. A man goes to a city to retrieve a stolen artifact made of stone. Okay. The whole time watching this, I never really cared for the head of Ong-Bak. Like, I don't think anybody does either. Now, but keep in mind, this is a cultural theme of the movie. So obviously I can't relate nor care all that much about, those kinds of things. But still, fighting a bunch of guys to retrieve some kind of stolen rock, okay, yeah. It's ridiculous, guys. Come on. It's ridiculous. But that's not why we watch these films. No. Now, I'm a big action movie fan. Like, particularly martial arts films. And there's a reason why, no matter how cheesy the acting or the story is, these action sequences stand the test of time. I mean, the choreography is just bananas. Whoever was behind all that, super kudos to them. These fights are fast, visceral, and brutal, and whatever adjective you can think of. They are honestly one of the most innovative fight scenes I've ever seen. And most of that is due to the fact that there is no CGI, no wire work. I mean, talk about signing on to a death sentence. Like, they use no types of artificial technology in this movie. And the way it's made too, you can tell that they didn't really have a lot of money to work with to even incorporate those kind of things. So seeing these actors play out these action scenes by themselves with no kinds of stunt doubles is just gigantically impressive. When watching this and thinking about how much talent had to be behind all of this stuff, two things. I'm happy that they decided to go down this route and really believed in the authentic craft of creating action with real fighters and real bodies and all that kind of stuff. It also makes me angry why stunt guys don't really get credit that they deserve when you see the work that's actually put into this movie. And I'm not just talking about, movie credit here. Okay, like martial arts movies, essentially the ones made in the East, are usually the ones that tend to do it for real. Like the kicks and the fall, like all that stuff. They actually want to do those things. And I remember briefly remembering one of Jackie Chan's older documentaries where he said that there's a trick where they actually get kicked for real in the face, and they punch each other for real, and practice that to make sure that they still do it safely. And just hearing them say those kind of things, it's just amazing how that technique works. I think I know exactly how they can pull that off, but I digress. Like, that is a lot of training and a lot of toughness that one has to go through to make all of those flashy stunt works work for the movie. Very, very impressive. Now, the chase sequences are really exciting as well. You have the first one where it's just all Tony Jaa jumping through loads of street merchant crates and garbage cans, but it cuts to a wide shot of him actually doing the jumps, and it's all him. Like, that's all him jumping through the air, tricking around in midair and things like that. That's like, to think that that's all him doing these moves. God, Tony Jaa is awesome, guys. But I think why I love this movie so much, it really did set the standard for what action movies should be doing. Now, it's a bunch of CGI and stunt doubles, which is, for the most part, fine. But movies like Ong-Bak really bring to the table, authentic, grounded action pieces that bring the danger to an action scene, mostly because it's really them getting hurt. You really see these guys actually doing the work. And it's just stuff you don't see nowadays, especially in a lot of action movies today. A lot of things are over edited and they cut from here to here to there, and they incorporate a lot of, CGI. If it's, good enough CGI, you won't notice it. But sometimes if it's an under budget movie, it's a lot of bad CGI that's incorporated in there. And it's a lot of these tricks where, anybody can essentially be an action star. And I appreciate the craft and quality that this brings where a lot of over budget action films fail. The directing is pretty good too, especially when you get to the Bangkok part. It's lit a bit more natural, so it feels, dirty. And then when the fights happen, he cuts to wide, so you can really see the actors, doing these stunts themselves. And that's one thing I can appreciate too. Like, this film, it's very grungy, especially when it gets those really violent parts. It's really dirty and sweaty, and you can see all those actors put that work in them. Like, this film is just, it passes all the way in the action department as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you're looking for the type of film to really sell you on groundbreaking performances and top-notch writing, this movie, it clearly isn't for you. Okay, for an awesome action film with great fight scenes and just bone-breaking fun, you're gonna have a good time, and for that, it passes for me for sure. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Tony Jaa really, did his thing on this one. And I gotta give credit where credit's due, man. Like, I really wish a lot more actors could pull off what he pulls off, because, man, not to say that I don't hate the action films that are out now, but this one definitely stands the test of time. And it came out just only 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I think, 03, 15. Like, it came out a long time ago. And just seeing how this movie still looks better than a lot of the new action films we see now. Like, bravo to Tony Jaa for this. So that's it for my review on Ong-Bak. Hope you guys appreciated that. And let me know what you guys think. Did you guys like Ong-Bak? Did you watch the whole trilogy? And which one is your favorite out of the whole three? Do you think Tony Jaa is one of the greatest martial artists out there right now? Who's your favorite martial artist? Let me know in the comments, and we can start that dialogue. So, but that's it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.